So skilled or unskilled, which one is easier to defend? You think if you're the like labor union? Skilled. Why?
Because they have experience, so they know what they're doing.
Okay.
So if they do mess up, like, oh, wait, no.
No, you're on the right track.
Yeah, so, like, if they do mess up, I guess they know the difference, or, like, how to, like, fix it, I guess.
Who is it easier to replace, me or a bagger? It's not easy, right? So if I'm representing a union, it's going to be easier for me to negotiate for someone like me than a bagger, because the bagger is easily replaced. Okay, does that make sense? But the Knights of Labor were an interesting group, right? Now, the problem with the Knights of Labor is what happened in Chicago, right? The Haymarket Square riot. There was a riot in Chicago. There was these bombs that went off, and who was blamed for it? The Knights of Labor were. So what did the American people begin associating with unions? Terrorism and violence, right? So it makes it really difficult for the unions, okay? So if we have a union and like what their goal is, where would we put that? Is it social? Is a union's decree, is it social? Okay, so we could say that it's social, right? We could say document G. Is it economic? Yeah, it's a labor union, right? What about political? Could we argue that they're having to do this because who's not taking care of them?
Yeah.
The federal government, right? The next one, real quick, is it's actually Boss Tweed, and he's like a vulture, right? And Boss Tweed is like feeding on the carcasses of New York. Okay, so actually I'll put it up. Okay, it's feeding on the carcasses of New York. Boss Tweed and his corruption. Where does it go? You could say economic, political machine, definitely what? Political, right? And then the last one, okay, is the Haymarket Square riot. So this riot associated with the Knights of Labor and violence of labor unions. Where would we put it? Where would we put I? Is it social? Is it economic? Is it political? Social. What kind of fear does it create about the labor unions, right? The people become afraid of the labor unions, okay? Violence becomes associated with them. Is it economic? Yeah, right, it's economic and also a political ploy, right? Does the government want the people to be afraid? Yeah. Okay? So, again, it's all about how you manipulate the evidence. Now, mixing this and that together, right, to be able to do those things. Okay? So, if you guys want to take a picture, you can. Does that make sense? Does that help a little bit? Okay.